What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video and welcome to 2022 from Davidoff. Now, I thought I'd pick my cigar of the month this month, and kind of, you know, we've got such a wonderful portfolio of cigars now from Davidoff, but I really wanted to start with a real icon of the range and a real icon of the cigar industry as a whole. So my choice for cigar of the month for January is the Winston Churchill Original Collection. Now, I've gone for the Robusto today in this one, which is a 5 1/4 by 52 ring gauge, and it's just a beautiful looking, that Ecuadorian wrapper there, wonderful notes of wood and leather. There's a little bit of citrus that creeps in just around the background there as well. We've got a Mexican binder and Dominican and Nicaraguan fillers, so a real heady mix of what's going on. In terms of strength, it is coming in around medium, 3 out of 5, sits right on the middle there, and just a wonderful representation of the Winston Churchill line. In the Robusto, for me, it kind of just gives you just enough to really get to appreciate those notes as we come through. We've got quite a few cigars in the range, starting all the way down with the Petite Panatella, to the Bellicoso, to the Petite Corona, to the Robusto, to the Toro, and then all the way up to the big guy, the classic Churchill-sized Winston Churchill cigar. Now, it's been, I'd probably say, quite frankly, an inexcusable amount of time since I last enjoyed one of these. So I am going to sit back and really take down every single second of this cigar today. Poured myself a wonderful little glass of Glenmorangie Signet. And now that Glenmorangie Signet's got this almost, I don't know, it's almost like drinking beautiful, dark, deep, velvety chocolate. And pairing with the notes of this cigar, where you've got the creamy the nuts that come through in there as well, and just some real beautiful mixes that we're going to break our way into as we go through the first third, the middle third, and into the final third. I guarantee, if you've never tried this pairing before, you are simply going to love it. Now, if you are looking for that little double extra chocolate treat, grab yourself some really dark chocolate, some Lindt, maybe to 80% or all the way up to the 90%, or even further if you dare. It's going to just create this it's almost euphoric in terms of the flavors, and I really like to play around with chocolate and cigars, but this one really works well with a super dark chocolate into the spicier notes, those kind of tingly notes in this cigar. It's really going to work well. But I'm going to stop talking, stop blabbering on, make the most of while the sun's still shining and it's a little bit warmer out on my decking today. Get this one cut and lit into that first third. I hope you will join me for the ride. See you in a second. Now, creeping my way into the first third on this one, I've been treated to just some beautiful flavours. There's some toasted kind of almost almonds in there. There's some oakiness, there's some sweetness. There's a real beautiful cream on the finish. The finish is incredibly thick. It just kind of sits there on your palate and coats your tongue and lives with you for just the right amount of time between puffs, so you're kind of still appreciating every single second of the cigar as you go through. On the retrohale, there's this nice vanilla note that comes through, almost quite a raw vanilla bean note. It's quite potent, and it's wonderful to really appreciate that one that comes through. Mostly on retrohale, I tend to get overly pepper, so it's always nice to have a unique note of sweetness that comes through there as well. Now, obviously, I'm kind of wanting to know, what cigar did you smoke for New Year's Eve? Did you smoke cigars around Christmas? What cigars have you been smoking for the start of the year as well? And what cigars from the Davidoff portfolio are you looking forward to in 2022? I know there's the Winston Churchill limited edition coming out next month, which a lot of people are very excited for, but we did have the Year of the Tiger last month as well, which was an exceptional cigar, very well received, and a beautiful looking cigar. I just wish we had more to be able to give you, but it's one of those things with limited editions. Once they're gone, they're gone. So make sure that if you can still find them in any of your local retailers, snap them up while you can. I'm going to take this one down a little bit further, see what indications of that kind of end of the first third it really brings me. Like I said, it's been far too long since I last enjoyed one of these cigars, but it's always nice to revisit a classic, and the draw on this one's just been exceptional, as you would expect from Davidoff. Not too much resistance, not enough, just the right amount. Almost the Goldilocks level of resistance, if that's such a thing. But I'm going to take this one down a little bit further, maybe go dabble over in the sun over there on the patio in Nestel, warm my hands up a little bit more. But I'll be back in a second with another update. See you in a second. So as I've come towards the end of the first third there, that kind of almost toasted almond note has stayed quite prevalent, but there's been some indications of some newer notes that are creeping in. There's this transition of the sweetness, which is almost moving into a kind of maple syrupy thick coating, which from that creaminess on the finish has kind of developed more into that maple note. It's still staying with the same kind of consistency. It's a beautiful, long-lasting finish that kind of, you almost want to chew it. It's so delectable. But it's been a joy to revisit this cigar for me today. Burn and ash are looking stunning. I'm sure I will do something silly and drop it on myself at some point. But I just wanted to jump back on before I make my way back into the cigar to make sure that you guys keep an eye on our social media, keep an eye on our Instagram to see when our upcoming events are coming up. So we're kind of starting to pick events back up in the next week or so in kind of late January, then all the way through the year. There's plenty of events across the country. We want to see you guys, as many of them as possible. I personally absolutely love events. I love to speak to people who are on all ends of their cigar smoking journey, whether they've just started, whether they've been smoking for decades, and there's so many stories and so many kind of everyone remembers their first cigar, their best cigar, and it's always nice to chat to like-minded people and always learn something new. Obviously I quite like to teach people at my events and kind of really pinpoint tasting notes and how I come around to kind of distinguishing them, but I always learn something new from someone, whether it's a little trick with a lighter or, you know, a certain drink or a certain cocktail, a certain pairing that I've never thought of. So I really want to see you guys at as many events as possible. So like I said, keep an eye on our social media, and if your local retailer doesn't do events yet, make sure that you give them a little nudge and get them to drop me an email. I'm sure we can put something in the diary while we are kind of up and running and get this year going as best as possible. I'm going to sit back, take this one down to the middle point and see where this one's going to take me today. It's been so far so good, time beautifully filled as always with Davidoff, but let's see where it goes. So just come up to the halfway point on this one. As I made my way through the middle third there, it was a continuation of those notes from the first third. The toasted almonds, the maple, the cream on the finish, beautiful deep flavors in terms of just the length of how long these flavors go for. I put the cigar down and made my way down to the other end of the garden, and kind of as I was walking, I was still just enjoying those flavors and enjoying that finish on the cigar, so much so that I kind of went, I want to get back and get smoking some more of that one, because it's been a real wonder out here on a crisp Friday afternoon in Norfolk. Although the sun is shining, it is still quite cold, so the patio heaters are going to go on in a little while to warm me back up again. But I'm going to take this one down to just to below the band there, see what the rest of that middle third has got in store for me. So far it's just been wonderful. As I've made my way into that middle third, there's been some cocoa, some leather, a little bit of cream in there as well, and some kind of almost underlying citrusy notes, and I can't quite pinpoint where that citrus is coming from, but it's in the distance, but it's just letting me know that it's there. So let's stop talking again, let's get this one down even further. I'm going to fill my time beautifully, as you would with every Davidoff cigar. I hope you'll join me for the next update. See you in a second. So I've come towards the end of the middle third. They're just kissing the bottom of the band, and that band's going to have to come up pretty sharpish to go into my journal. But continuations of the flavors through that middle third there. On the retrohale, there's a little bit of a citrusy note creeping in there as well, which has been quite enjoyable. And beautiful smoke output, plumes of smoke coming off this one. I know the temperature is a little bit lower than usual, but still the smoke output has been exceptional on this one today. Now I'm going to get this band off, take this one down to the nub, see what that final third has got. The sun's starting to creep its way over onto the decking as well, so all is good in my world today. I hope you're all having a great day out there as well. Let me know what you guys are smoking down in the comments, and let me know what you're looking forward to this year as well. Join me for the final third. So coming towards the end of my time with this one today, in that final third, a beautiful crescendo of finishes, just that mapley kind of almost toasted almond note on the finish has just continued beginning, middle to end. There's been some hay, some coffee, some leather that's crept in and crept out and reintroduced itself midway through at points in the cigar. It's just been a wonderful experience. The one note that's kind of made its appearance in the final third has been this nice juicy raisin note in there, kind of sweet and making me salivate between puffs. It's just been a wonderful time to spend out on a Friday afternoon on my decking here in crisp Norfolk, we'll put it that way. It's January, what what else can you expect? But I've really enjoyed my time with this one today, and I hope that you out there want to go grab the Statesman Robusto or any of the other sizes in the Davidoff Winston Churchill original collection. If your local retailers don't stock them, make sure that you drop me an email and get them out to them as soon as possible. Get those humidors stocked up. I'll be back soon again with another review. Make sure you keep your eyes peeled. We're going to be bringing some more reviews, not just our cigar of the month, but also some of our other releases from our other brands in the portfolio as well. I hope you'll tune in for all of those. Until next time, have a wonderful Friday, have a wonderful weekend, and as always, smoke more Davidoff cigars. Peace.